Sup everyone, Globani here, and today I'm here to bring you an expanded Mega Gardevoir Despair Ray deck. Now, if you guys saw my Steam Siege pack opening video, you guys know that the game wanted me to build this deck. I wanted to build it in the first place, so things all worked out. Now, this attack is insane. Discard as many of your bench Pokemon as you like. This attack does 10 more damage for each bench Pokemon you discarded in this way. This is our only attacker in the deck. So, I mean, besides maybe Shaman looping or, Keldeo for, against fire, but Mega Gardevoir is the only attacker. So, how are we going to get this to one-shot things, you may be asking? Well, in Expanded, we have this card, Exeggcute. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in your discard pile, you may put this Pokemon into your hand. So, the plan is to get these eggs into this discard pile, put them in our hand, put them on the bench, and assuming none are prized, you're at least doing a base 150 damage with Despair Ray. So how are we going to get that extra 20 to 30 damage to hit those magic numbers and one-shot basic EXs? Well, we're going to play a bunch of support Pokemon. First of all, we have 4 Shamans. I know they're expensive, but they are needed, seeing as that they're really the card draw for this deck. Ultra Balls, Transmels, anything to try to get these out, as early as turn 1. You want to have a big bench by turn 1, turn 2 by the latest. Hoopas, obviously, to get out the Shamans and Gardevoirs and the other EXs you'll need. The Keldeo for the Floatstone retreat option. We do run 2 copies of Floatstone, just to help against status a bit. And also a quick note about the Gardevoirs, it really doesn't matter which Gardevoir you play, as you're never probably ever going to attack with them. I can see where maybe if you go second, this 20 damage might matter, but for the most part, it's too little of a difference. We're going to be testing out the new Gardevoir, seeing as that 100 damage for 2 energy is tempting enough to, have it. Plus, it's secret rare, so, it looks badass. Alright, we're playing 2 Compressor to get the eggs into the discard pile as quickly as possible, and we're playing in conjunction with 4 VS Seekers, so we put the supporter of choice. Computer Search, it's such a good ace spec. Just discard 2 cards, normally eggs, and you grab anything you need. Is it Hoopa, the supporter, to win the game, etc. 2 Mega Turbos. Another thing Compressor can be used for is to put at least 1 energy in the discard pile, and then just, have an extra attachment for the turn. Super Rod. I found that Sacred Ash was overkill, and this one's a lot more flexible because you might need more energy than Pokemon in the late game. Maybe especially against decks that run like Hammer or, Energy Disruption. We have 3 Trainer's Mail, a late addition to this deck, but it makes my opening hand a lot more consistent, and it's overall just a good card. Helps you get your VS Seekers, your Ultra Balls, which can get you your Hoopas, etc. 4 Ultra Balls, obviously. With the eggs, it's just a good synergy. We already went over the VS Seekers. 2 Colress. Now, you're going to be Colressing for a lot in this deck because you have a big bench. They have a medium-sized bench. You can pull off some Colress for double digits multiple times throughout a game. 1 is okay, you at least want 1, but 2 just makes card draws way easier, way greedier, and just, it's too much. Giovanni Scheme, this is a very good tech because of its second option. During this turn, your Pokemon's attacks do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Sometimes, if they replace a Stadium and you don't have the second one in hand, or if they've ability locked you and have only got your current bench to work with, you can play Giovanni Scheme and do an extra 20 damage, which can help you under those stressful situations to still get the knockout. It's basically Muscle Band the supporter, and it's way better than just trying to get the Weavile band thing, because I found that to be too inconsistent. Another tech is Hex Maniac. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, each Pokemon in play in each player's hand and discard pile has no abilities, so it shuts down its abilities for a turn. You obviously want to do this near the end of your turn, right before you attack. This is mainly for safeguard Pokemon, so Carbink, Suicune, and Sigilyph will give us trouble. The only workaround around that is Lysander, and we're not running Escape Rope or anything, so Hexmaniac and Lysander will just have to do the job. Lysander, obvious, it's such a good Pokemon, you can just end the game with Lysander Shaman. And we need at least that 1 Shuffle Supporter, obviously, really good. It's the only card that keeps us from decking out should we have like a low deck count. Pokemon Ranger. Now, this card really stops only a few specific Pokemon on the list. All the Water Box candidates, so Seismitoad, Glaceon, Regice, and Giratina, we're not too worried about since we can one-shot that anyways. But I feel like until some of that stuff just becomes unpopular or unplayed, we might get rid of this card eventually. But for right now, Pokemon Ranger is a pretty good tech against specific decks, similar to the Hex Maniac. 2 Junipers. I wish we could put in 3 since we do have all the eggs, but just this deck, there's a lot that you want to put in, just not enough room. 4 Skyfield, this is what makes it all happen, to have the huge bench to play all the eggs and to do the Despair Ray for that those big numbers. 2 Floatstone to be used in conjunction with the Keldeo, obviously. 3 Spirit Links, and 7 Energy. So this is my build. If you wanted to play it a little bit riskier, I could see ditching a few of the Trainer's Mails in favor of a second Keldeo and an 8th Energy to make sure you can pull those 2 cards a little bit more smoothly, but, you know, I feel like this is good enough, and it's the build that I've, you know, worked for. So let's jump into some games, shall we? And our opponent will be against Sylvester 11, Fire Dark Normal. Okay. If they have Mace, I can't even speak. Mostly dark attackers, we do have resistance against stuff like a Meltal, so we'll see. I don't know what the fire could be though. Ooh, it could be Darkrai just because of the sleeves. Ooh, Hoopa start. I mean, as long as the second one's not prized, we should be okay. This hand is actually pretty good. And the game begins. Ooh, it's Pyroar. Okay. Could even be the new Pyroar Break from Steam Siege. We're not attacking with basic Pokemon, and that 180 does not knock out Mega Gardevoir. It could knock out a Gardevoir that is yet to Mega Evolve, so if we see some Wally shenanigans, or Blacksmith, I don't know, together, and a Lysander, nah, they couldn't pull all that off. Alright, so they're just gonna go for the Fan Club. Are we gonna see Hoopa? Actually, I didn't see Psychic, so no Hoopa, so it could just be Shaman. Oh, Darkrai and Malamar, okay. The Keldeo is going to be a good factor in this matchup, seeing as that it's our only thing to counter the statuses. Otherwise, we're just at the mercy of a 50-50 tail flip. Or coin flip. Alright. So we're going to take a chance to look through our deck, see if the second Hoopa's in here. Let's see what we got. All eggs are in here, that's great. The other Hoopa is in here. We got 2 links, 1 Skyfield is prized. Is the Keldeo in here? The Keldeo is in here. Do we have any VS Secrets in hand? We know, yeah. We don't need any supporters on our discard pile. Computer search is here. That's pretty good. 1 Turbo, 5 Energy, so 1 Energy is prized. Okay, so we gotta be careful with our energy. We don't want to play Hex Maniac. And I think we might end up drawing for either a Colress or a an N, but we'll see. Okay, so both Hoopas are in play. We will be getting our Gardevoirs. Again, I don't think it matters which ones we grab. Actually, use Keldeo. Keldeo early on might be helpful. We don't know. Maybe we get the Floatstone before we get the Link. Okay. Attach this. Maybe a Skyfield? 1 is prized, but you know, we max it out for a reason. Link or Skyfield would be good here. And it prevents us from playing the Jirachi this turn. Colress for 6 or N for 6? I feel like Colress, sure. Shaman for 1 doesn't sound appealing, but I feel like... Actually, you know what? We're not going to get greedy. We're going to just play the other Gardevoir, and we'll play the Colress now. Seeing as that when we do get the Skyfield, Shaman can get us more cards. Alright, there we go. There's the Link. And we could computer search for more, like a Shaman or something, but we really don't need to even play the Skyfield this turn either. So I think we're good. There's really nothing we can do this turn, so we're just going to pass. So the plan here is to computer search to get a Floatstone, and VS, because we have the Mega in hand, and VS Seeker the Colress to just draw for a bunch. And we'll play the Skyfield, obviously, so we have more room on our bench. We have 3 eggs in the discard pile. We're already hitting a base of 140 per turn, assuming no ability lock, so this is looking pretty fine. Wait, there's a Pyroar. We could actually just knock it out without sacrificing anything, but where's the fun in that? Actually, I might have to. Just because some players instant concede with slow rolls. So if I don't have to play the Exeggcute, I won't have to. Alright, and Pyro will hit for... how much damage? 60. Okay, he'll save the energy. Okay, ooh, this Trainer Zone. Could it get us something good? Skyfield or Ultra Ball? A lot of good stuff here. I guess we'll take the Ultra Ball. Alright, so we are going to Mega Evolve and get the second energy. We are going to Skyfield. Right? Now here's the question. I could Ultra Ball for a Shaman here. And then... what's the right play? Actually, as much as... maybe I should have grabbed something else, but I feel like this is what we have to do. We have to grab the Floatstone, and we have the Colress, so I guess Shaman isn't that big a deal. At least for this turn. Right. We fill our hand. Actually, no, Colress gets us more cards. I was thinking Juniper. Actually, no, wait, they do. Oh, then maybe I should have. Actually, it didn't matter. I was BS seeking it. So, either way, we're drawing for 7. And Keldeo will just free retreat. We're not going to slow roll our opponent. We have exactly 5 cards on the bench. Actually, you know what? Maybe it would be okay to knock out the Hoopa, seeing as that it could be just a liability for me. So 120 damage. I don't know, maybe some Max Elixir, Energy Switch shenanigans, and a Lysander could have been enough to knock out a Hoopa, so just getting rid of that right now. Though, I say that, and that means I probably should have gotten rid of Shaman as well, but who knows. So this Keldeo Floatstone is putting in some work against this Malamar. We also play Hexmaniac, though we don't want to usually play Hexmaniac if you have the lead and have all the eggs on the bench already. So Malamar is giving us some trouble, as we've learned from like practice testing that it has psychic resistance. So we have to hit for 190 just to knock it out. We do have the Giovanni scheme, so that cancels out the resistance. So by that logic, or math, we need to sacrifice 6 Pokemon, and Giovanni's scheme will take care of the resistance. Same thing will have to be said about the Darkrai. Alright, so I have to sacrifice 6 though, that's a lot. And with this deck you will have pretty big hands like these, which is pretty helpful. Alright, so if we're only saving 2 Pokemon on the bench, that means something has to be played. Can this get us a Link? It gets a Colress, so cool. Actually, we're going to need the second Giovanni scheme, so we're going to take the VS Seeker for the next turn to kill the Darkrai, seeing as that's going to be even more of a challenge. Attach an energy here. And, we really... what do we... We need the... We're going to save the Keldeo and the Gardevoir, obviously, so we basically just have to give up a lot of stuff, unfortunately. So what we're going to do is we're going to play the Ultra Ball prematurely. We can't get out the Mega Gardevoir this turn. Actually, I just misplayed. I got completely wrong Pokemon. Whoops. I didn't even check. Just all the Gardevoirs. Got tempted. But it's okay. If our opponent doesn't concede, we'll just play the eggs, and actually we could just sacrifice this Gardevoir, honestly. Sorry Gardevoir, I like you, but you have to be sacrificed. Alright, and we will Giovanni scheme, and we will be hitting for 20 more. So we can only save 2, So we're going to Despair Ray, kill this, and this. And that should be enough to knock out the Malamar. To knock out Darkrai with Giovanni's scheme, we'll have to sacrifice 7 Pokemon on the bench next turn, which is possible. There's the Link, and there's the Mega Turbo. Okay, cool. Can Mega Turbo even be played? No, it can't, but we do have the energy in hand. This is it. They can play Hex Maniac, or no, they're just gonna, okay, cool. Well, that's game. I think? Actually, no it's not. I don't have enough Pokemon. Ooh. If we had more Pokemon, we could have... 5... Actually, no, we do win! We have to sacrifice everything, though, again. We're going to play the yeah, we only need to sacrifice 7. Okay, so we're going to grab, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. We're going to grab Pokemon Ranger. And we're going to play the Shaman for, nothing. And then we will VS Seeker, the Giovanni Scheme. It takes care of resistance, so we're going to hit for 20 more damage. And Mega Gardevoir will kill off every support Pokemon on the bench, leaving a wave of destruction and hitting for that 180, even with resistance, by sacrificing everything like the cruel trader it is. It's able to take the knockout and we win the game. So it's a pretty good game. You can see that the Giovanni Scheme gives you that muscle band, that extra 20 damage that you'll need in certain matchups to get, you know, those one-hit knockouts. So let's go on to the next game. Okay, our opponent is Tiago KR, and they're playing Fighting Normal. Ooh. If it's the fighting types that are weak to Psychic, we do have an advantage. But it could be, I don't know, Zygarde or something. So we'll have to see. Heads worked for us, right? Yeah, cool. We'll be going first. Again, because we run so many support Pokemon, it's not the end of the world that if we start a Shaman or a Hoopa or even an Egg. Though, in the case of the Egg, if they go first and they just laser bank, then GG. But, ooh, this hand could be better. All we can really do is play the energy in the Sky Field and Shaman for a few cards, but we'll see. If our top deck saves us. It does not, unfortunately. And all he has is Shaman for 2. It could be enough to bail us out, though. It's not. We'll Hex Maniac to prevent them from having a crazy turn 1, but that's about all we can do. So onto my opponent's turn. They are starting Timber. This seems like a basic orange deck. I've seen this a few times and expanded. Maybe they've vamped it up with some other cool cards. We'll see. Pokemon Fan Club gets in 2 basics. What will they be, though? Nothing with support abilities. Okay, Carbink and Lucario. Okay, we got a game. Though our hand is not doing us any favors, I feel like we might just end up Giovanniing for like 1. Like, who knows? Can't even burn the Super Rod. Oh, and there's that Carbink. Again, our only way of dealing with Carbink, or any Safeguard for that matter, is either to Lysander around it or to play the Hex Maniac. So I already played it turn 1. Had I known they'd play Carbink, I might have saved it. These VS Seekers will matter because they always tend to run at least 2 Carbinks, and I even saw a build with 4 Carbinks in the game, or in their deck, so, like, yeesh. Okay, there we go. Computer search saves us. We have to waste another VS Seeker, so we need to be a little bit careful here. I don't think we're going to need a Giovanni Scheme, and we definitely want to save the VS Seekers. So we're going to grab Compressor and just get our supporter that we need. Again, maybe an Ultra Ball for a Hoopa would have been better if we weren't giving up the VS Seekers, but they are pretty much going to be needed in this matchup. Alright, so 2 eggs, and I guess what we want is N? If we can find it. There it is. Okay. So we got 5 energy, so all the energy, none of it's prized. We have 3 spirit links. The VS Seekers are in here. Keldeo's in here, and we have 3 shamans to work with. So let's go. Alright, so we didn't get the explosive turn 1, but we're trying to recover. Maybe getting a link here will help. Ultra Ball? Ultra Ball would be very nice here. Yes, there we go. Alright. I also don't think we're going to need Pokemon Ranger in this matchup. So, just to draw an additional card. I know I have eggs in the discard pile, but just to draw an extra card with Shaman. Alright, we got Hoopa, finally. If you miss a turn 1, it's not really that bad unless they get their crazy turn 1 as well. Actually, might need Keldeo. Yeah, there we go. 3 Gardevoirs is kind of overkill. But this is the long turn 1 we were supposed to have anyways. So, we can't really kill this unless we get the Mega. And we didn't even get it there either. So we're going to get rid of some more stuff. We're going to get rid of the egg. What else don't we need? Is a Mega Turbo... There's no energy in the discard pile, so we'll put in 1 energy. And there's really nothing else we need, honestly. We need to save the VS Seekers and Floatstones. I don't even want to get rid of the Gardevoir because it's just an extra 10 damage. So we'll Shaman for 2. And, well, I mean... Yeah. We'll Mega Evolve instead of just doing... how much is it? 30 damage? It's not weak to fairies anyway, so... Unfortunately, we cannot draw into the link, but and knock this out. So they will get that 1 extra turn of trying to either... if I were them, I'd probably just start setting up Carbink and potentially evolving the Carbink Break. But we do have Lysander, so we can one-shot the Lucario. Even with the belt, yeah, we're still one-shotting it. In fact, we could even take it in the slower kind of play. Instead of Lysander and Lucario, we could Colress and hope that we draw into a VS Seeker, because we know whatever we knock out next, he's going to send up Carbink. So if we could just try to get the Hex Maniac this turn. Or we just could not play anything. Just knock this out and then play the Lysander after. Because I could play the Lysander now and take an easy 2 prizes off Lucario. However, then the Carbink is just inactive and I have no immediate response. So I want to be able to, like, you know, play a little bit more on tempo when he brings up the Carbink. Because I'm not really too worried about the Lucario. Oh, there's the link. Alright. Well, I guess... Yeah, this is where the eggs come in. We already have 3 Shamans down. The chances that we'll get another one is, like, highly unlikely. So, we are just going to knock out... It's a bit slower, but I feel like this is the way to go. We are going to Colress for 11 cards. And hopefully we have a way to get the Hex Maniac. We didn't. We whiffed it. Oh my god. So that was the wrong play, I suppose. Yeah. I could play the Floatstone down, but, I mean, I really don't feel like an immediate danger to do so. So, we'll just Spare Ray and we'll knock out some eggs. And that's about it. So he will send up the Carbink. We took a risk, it didn't pay off. And we can't kill the Carbink. We have no Lysander, no Hex Maniac, which is our only way out of against Safeguard. This Lysander is still in our deck. We play 4 VS Seekers. 3 of them are in our deck, so... I mean, technically the odds aren't too bad. There are 13 cards in our deck. 4 out of 13 of them bails us out. So some pretty good, like that's like a 1 in 3 chance almost. But they will be powering up possibly the Lucario. And are we seeing Carbink Break or Mega Lucario? Nah, it's been a while since I've seen Mega Lucario. Yeah, it's Carbink Break. Alright, so they will be attaching energy from the discard pile. They only have one, but they are doing it. And they're Karina-ing for, I would assume, either another Carbink and then a VS Seeker, or maybe, yeah, cool. Called it right on the money. Alright, so what we have to do for our turn is just play, unless we top deck like a god, all we can do is Colress and go one more time. Just Colress for a lot. Hope that we finally draw either into the Lysander or the VS Seeker, which is our only way of dealing with this safeguard. And we did not top deck it. Oh well. So, we actually could burn some cards in our hand. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Oh, it's too late though. Just to maximize. I know the egg value is too great, but just to maximize off the Colress to ensure that I get the, you know, my out. Play the Mega Turbo. We don't really need any more energy. I will prematurely attach energy to Keldeo should a Megaphone or a Tool Scrapper be a thing. I'll also be, the other Gardevoir was dead, right? No, I couldn't even choose it, so it's prized. So we're going to be getting rid of some cards that we're just not going to end up playing. I don't think we're going to need 3 Gardevoirs in this matchup. 2 VS Seekers. Oh, one's prized, and 1 Lysander. So there's a Trainer's Mail though. Alright, so there's some good cards in here for sure. I don't want to bench the Shaman just to draw for a couple more. I feel like we could just rely on the eggs for our Colress draw. I know those are less cards that we could be drawing, but maybe call me greedy. We just want to save those Pokemon for the optimal damage output. Which, now that I say that out loud, is kind of a bad thing, seeing as that we don't really need. They're weak to Psychic. I don't even need this much damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to send out Hoopa, have it take some hits for us, and then we'll just call it a day. So this time we were able to get both the VS Seeker and the Lysander. So he did 80 damage. Did he go for... I don't know. Wasn't paying attention what he went for. But he didn't attach energy from the discard pile, so... At least yeah, he didn't attach it. So did he go for Power Gem? Interesting. So this turn we will be sacrificing the Hoopa, seeing as it will get damage. Again, not... Oh yeah, 40 plus 20 from Strong Energy, it's 60. Got it. And the 20 energy is from before. Alright, so we're going to retreat into our damaged Mega Gardevoir, seeing as they really can't do anything. And we're just going to play the Hex Maniac. We do know that they have a second Carbink in their hand, so we just might kill Lucario at that point. So here we go. Despair Ray. And we'll be sacrificing the eggs and the Hoopa. Just not give him any hope. It's all despair. Oh, and there's the 4th VS Seeker. So we have the Hex Maniac play yet again. My opponent's thinking what to send up, and they send up Hariyama. Alright. Now they're probably going to play the second Carbink onto the bench. And there we go. There's really not too much to worry about. Though I do have the decision again whether to just Lysander Lucario or VS Seeker Well, no, actually, no, the card bank's not active, so. I'm not really too worried about N. Is Super Rod gone? It is. I had to ditch it early on. Ooh. A good endgame tactic is if you're worried about N, you just Super Rod like 3 Shamans back into your deck and you maximize their ways out. We are only down to 5 cards though, so in this kind of situation, in a lot of expanded matches, you'll find yourself at these low deck counts. There's no way to shuffle our deck except for N, so you always need to keep count of your VS Seeker count and Ns. So both VS Seekers are in our deck, and one of them has to be used for Hex Maniac, so I don't think the game will drag on for 5 more turns. I don't think he can hold out for that long. And if he does try to end me into a bad hand, we're set up enough on the board that it really doesn't matter. So it's basically, can my opponent last for 5 turns? Ooh, a Zygarde and a Switch. Okay, cool. They're actually going to send up Carbink, if I'm not mistaken, and we'll just Hex Maniac that easy. Easy peasy. Opponent's thinking about it, but finally plays down the Exeggcute. Will he play the Switch this turn, or will he let Hariyama fall? Actually, now that I think about it, I could just play aggressively. I mean, I'm pretty sure I win this game no matter what. However, I feel like if we just Lysander 2 times in a row, we can just take our knockouts. That 190, though, we could do it. I could totally do it. You know what? We'll do it. We will Zygarde the, actually, yeah, we don't even need anything, honestly. We're just not going to play anything. We'll assign Lucario. And we will just Despair Ray for nothing. And it's weak to Psychic, so we're doing 220 damage. Alright, so by benching the Zygarde, it's just another 2 prizes easy. So our next turn is pretty much done. We are going to VS Seeker for Lysander to knock out the Zygarde. And we'll need to sacrifice 8 Pokemon, and we have that. Even if they replace the stadium, take us down to 5, we have the replacement stadiums. We have 3 Pokemon in our hand, 3 Pokemon in the or 4 Pokemon in the discard pile, my bad, to return. So it's pretty much GG from here. And my opponent started with like a weird, what was it, a Timber start? Yeah. But I slowly saw a fighting deck. Alright, they're going to use Steven as their last supporter, grab a Energy, and what supporter? Lysander. Well, I wonder what the Lysander's for. Seeing as that... Oh, I'm not going to really slow roll my opponent, but just... I always want the healthy Gardevoir to be the one to, like, attack. So let's see if we can do this before my opponent knows what's going on. Alright. So we are going to grab... Actually, we really don't need the eggs, honestly. We really don't need the eggs. We're just gonna say no to everything, speed this up. We're going to VS Seeker. We're gonna Lysander. And we're going to knock out Zygarde. Feel the despair. Sacrificing Shamans, Hoopas, even the other Gardevoir that did all the work. Sacrificing everyone for 190 damage. That is the finishing move for this deck in most games, if they do not concede. And that's GG. And that's it, guys. You saw the sweeping potential of Mega Gardevoir. Giovanni Scheme and Hex Maniac are pretty good techs. As time goes on, maybe we won't even need the Pokemon Ranger, but for right now, it seems like a solid tech card. Everything else seems pretty nice, legit. So thank you guys for watching, and until next time.